And we have Kim,
Yeah.
Shirley here, and we have 1 minute to start.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
I think we have a quorum. John, if you would like to start.
Okay, we'll start by calling the roll. Kim?
Here.
Brian?
Here.
I'm here. Shirley?
Here.
And Craig? Craig is not there. Is that
No,
right?
it's not. It's not here.
Okay. Okay.
I'll make it.
Moved by Kim,
I'll second.
second by Shirley.
We'll proceed to vote. Brian?
Yes.
I vote aye. Shirley?
Aye.
And Kim?
Yes.
Next item is resolution number 22-10U. This is a resolution awarding contract for the 2022 water main improvements project. Any discussion? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make it.
Moved by Kim,
I'll second it.
second by Shirley.
We'll proceed to vote. I vote aye. Shirley?
Aye.
Kim?
Yes.
And Brian?
I regrettably vote no on that. I've emailed my comments that I request be in the minutes as to why it's regarding the financial structure of the project. I think we're spending $2 million that we don't need to. Chip has showed us. And so I've asked to make copies of those, of my memo and to put that in the minutes. Just, those are my comments, not representative of the board, and I've signed that as such.
Motion is approved. Next item is resolution number 22-11U. This is a resolution approving a note purchase agreement and providing for the issuance of $6,700,000 water revenue loan agreement anticipation project notes, series 2022A. Any discussion?
I see Chip. Do you want to say something,
Sure.
Chip?
So I'll just briefly review the financing. So the bound packet, and this includes the material that was emailed. You folks have it, they're on the phone. In on the interim financing at 2.75. We held what's called an order period where we get indications of interest today from bond investors. That went very well. If you look at it, so your 2.75% is a tax exempt rate. If you look at it on a taxable equivalent basis, that's equivalent for a community banks were the large buyers of the financing or who put orders in. That's equivalent to a rate of 3.48% on a taxable basis. So when you convert the tax exempt to taxable, the 2-year US Treasury is at 3.2%. So it's a pretty tight, very nice tight spread to the two-year US Treasury of roughly 0.25% or 28 basis points. So that is a favorable rate, I think, in the current rate environment. That's very compelling and I think low from an interest rate standpoint. So I'll just hit the highlights on the bond sale summary on page 2. The maturity date, as noted under results, is June 1 of 2024. The utilities is able to call the debt in early on December 1 of 2023. If you're at a point with the projects where that works, chances are it'll probably go until the stated maturity date, given the construction bid timelines. And the rate's locked through the maturity date at 2.75%. And the other items, the next page, Exhibit A, the sources and uses, lays out the project cost under the uses of funds based on the actual construction bids. The contingency of roughly 5% is included as well. And I would just want to be sure to point out on page 4, the debt service, that interest of the total of the interest column under Exhibit C is roughly $354,000. That doesn't need to be paid from the water fund over the next 2 years. That's paid from proceeds of the financing, or it's called capitalized interest. So the water fund won't have payments. It ultimately gets paid off by the long-term debt. So that's really it. I haven't answered any questions, and I think we're really getting this in right under the wire, as it were. So we got the go-ahead last week from the USDA folks. They provided what's called a takeout letter, because ultimately the security for the interim financing is the USDA completion debt financing, not the water fund. So we've got that takeout letter, do the completion financing, assuming construction. That's really it. So thank you.
Any questions or comments by the board? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
I'll motion.
Moved by Shirley,
Is there a second? I'll second that.
seconded by John.
Okay, we'll proceed to vote. Shirley,
Aye.
Kim,
Yes.
Brian,
No,
and I vote aye. So the motion's carried. And unless there's any further comment, we can adjourn the meeting.
Well, I just have a,
About colors.
do you want to talk about the color this meeting or next meeting? Or the color of the water tower, you want to talk about it this meeting, John, or you want to wait until next meeting?
Talk about what Ash explained.
Go ahead. Jeff is gonna talk about it.
I think
Oh,
initially,
okay.
initially we had talked about looking at the colors choices for the lettering on your water tower at the
Okay.
last meeting, and you decided to postpone that until tonight. The contractor was asking me if I'd heard anything yet, and so we certainly don't have to do that tonight. They're not going to be painting the tower until next spring, so we have time, but we do need to consider this, before too much longer.
Sure.
So
Jeff, do you have a rendering or a picture of?
I have a color chart of what's
What it
available.
look like?
Yes, and so we just recently completed the town, and basically, what the you can go into Word on your computer. You can pick almost any font that's in there, and they will do a rendering of that font with your town name, and do a mock-up that they can print out to show you what that might look like. And so the choice is which font do you want, and then which color do you want for both the tower and the word, the town name. And so I do have color cards. I can leave those one with you if you want. And then we just need to make that choice, whether it's a white tower or another color. That's really up to you.
Well, I guess from my standpoint, the tower that we have is white. And I guess I would think it a little unusual if we had, like, army green or something,
That's one of your choices. But yes, I totally agree with you.
I think, for me, because I'm not, I'm not very creative, but white would seem to be a good color for me.
So maybe I should work with Pat between now and your July meeting to come up with some font choices as well. And we could have
Yeah.
those things on the agenda in July.
That would be a good idea.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you. I think we're all done, John. I'm just gonna make a quick announcement here, and then we can adjourn. Well, I don't know if to say, Mike Morgan has accepted to take another job with Dallas County. He's gonna pursue his dream of working as an IT guy and technology and all this stuff, and that's something he likes. So he will be starting his job the first week of July, and Sarah is taking some of Mike's responsibility, and that's why you see her here tonight. And we'll be seeing more of her from now on. And then we'll be advertising for someone to fill in for Sarah's position, because Sarah's taking Mike's position. Mike will be working for us from outside as an IT person. We don't want his knowledge to be gone without having to help us with it. So I talked to Beth, and Beth and I agreed to have the city and utility to kind of have Mike as an IT guy for us.
I think on the utility side, I would like to see Mike just be on retainer for us, however much we decide it should be. Because we use Mike's skill, I guess you could say, a lot. You got 6 computers and a printer and all kinds of stuff down there that we seem to have a constant problem with. So to have somebody on retainer for maybe 100 or maybe 200 a month, I don't know what the going rate is, but something to think about. We can talk about at the next meeting.
We'll work things out. I just want to make these announcements, so we need to get used to CCL. That's all I got, John.
On my behalf, I would certainly wish Mike the best, and I wish Sarah the best as well, so.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Can we decline to accept his resignation?
I tried for the last week and a half, but we wish him good luck.
Yep, that's right. Anything else to add?
No, we're done.
Okay, the meeting stands adjourned.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all very much.
Where'd you say you were going?
Dallas County.
Ash?
Yes, sir.
Maybe it's a